guys, and welcome to the latest edition of the Flavour Factor. I'm Chef Malcolm, and today it's all about plant power. Okay guys, so next we're going to do a fried cauliflower taco, and that's going to be accompanied with a chipotle chili salsa, which is the salsa we made in the previous dish, with the addition of a chopped chipotle chili, which is a smoked chili. It gives it a nice smokiness, but by using the roasted chili that we used in the first salsa, it's very, very similar anyway. That's also going to be accompanied with pico de gallo, which is a Mexican-style salsa, a cold salsa, which is going to use chopped tomatoes. I've just done a little bit of pre-prep today for speed for the video. So we've got chopped tomato in there. We're going to add some finely diced red onion. Not too much of that, about 1/4. Pinch of salt. And the juice of 1/4 of a lime. There we go. Throw that behind me for someone else to clear up. There we go, and give that a little mix, and then finally a little bit of chopped coriander. My coriander's wilting very quickly under the lights here. I'm just going to chop that through. Doesn't have to be too fine, you could even just tear it. There we go, and again, if you're doing this for a group of people, this is the kind of thing you can do an hour or so before they come. So it's all ready, all those flavours are going to intermingle. What I would say is that even if you chop the coriander, add it at the very end. It gives a nice fresher scent, because otherwise the lemon juice and the salt will sort of cook the coriander and make it go a dark brown. So there's that cooked there, we'll just put that to one side for a minute. Next we're going to do the fried cauliflower. So we're going to breadcrumb the cauliflower. So the way we're going to do that is, I've already broken down the cauliflower into rather small pieces, so they're going to cook quickly and they'll be easy to eat when they're in the taco. So we're going to flour and then egg wash them and then coat them in the breadcrumbs. So we're just going to crack one egg into there, just with a fork, just to loosen that up. Now if you're doing more than one person, you'd probably add a little bit of milk to this to make it go further, but I'm only cooking for one today and I don't want to waste any more ingredients. So there we go, we're just going to do it like that. Then we're going to take our cauliflower, and a little tip here is do wet hand, dry hand. So if my left hand's going to be the dry hand, I'm going to coat it in there, throw it in. Same with this, a little bit fiddly because this is so small, but it is worth it. Incidentally, I have put a pinch of salt into the flour here, and if you wanted, you could add, say, a pinch of smoked paprika, give it a little bit of extra flavour. But I quite like it with everything else that's going on here today. You don't want to confuse your palate, so we're just going to go with plain flour. So I'm going to do about 8 pieces. Should be enough for 2 tacos. I'll tell you what, no, let's be generous. Let's do 10. Why not? Okay, so they're all floured. I'm going to toss them around, but I'm going to use one hand, the wet hand, remember, just to take that out, put it into the breadcrumbs. I'm going to do 2 or 3 pieces at once. Okay, and then I'm going to use my left hand, the dry hand, to coat them over. That way, so if you haven't got nice fancy gloves like I've got here, you're not going to end up with your hands absolutely coated in the ingredients. Because you think about it, just like I've put the flour and the egg wash on here to make the breadcrumbs stick to the cauliflower, it'll do exactly the same thing to your hands. Okay, there we go. I'll move them out of the way. So there we have our breadcrumb cauliflower all ready to go. And now I've got some oil heating up. Now obviously if you've got a deep fat fryer at home, I would always recommend using a commercial deep fat fryer. They're much safer. Oil's on a pan, you know, the stories over the years of house fires, this is how it happens if these get unattended. So I really wouldn't recommend that. We're doing this here today because we have a shortage of electricity points around where we're doing the filming. So I've been very, very careful with this. We're monitoring it very, very careful, and we've got all the safety precautions in place. Before I start frying, I've got myself a little tray here with some paper towel in it, just where we can fish it all out so we can drain it. And then I'm simply going to very, very carefully just slide my cauliflower in there straight away. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just starting to sizzle nicely. So they're going to take about 2 minutes, and then we're going to take them out and let them drain, and then we're going to heat through a couple of tacos, and then we're going to build our dish. These are nice avocados, these. Look, the skin's peeling off quite nicely. Beautiful. Just cut that down. A nice little dice of avocado to finish on top as well. And we're almost ready to start building. So these have had about 1.5 minutes now. They're coming along nicely. They haven't started to colour yet. We're getting there. So they're going to get about another minute. Now, the burnt corn part of this salsa is another bit you can have done in advance. So if you can see here, I've got a corn on the cob, and what I've done with that, I've just put a little bit of oil on it, and then in a dry pan, I've literally just toasted that all the way around so you get a little bit of colour on it. Again, like I said in a previous dish, you don't want to burn it, but you want a little bit of colour on there to give the flavour. And then all I'm going to do is stand it up, and I'm just going to slice it down just to take some of those kernels off. Lovely. Put that out of the way. So there's our components for our dish. We've got the cauliflower that's cooking. We've got our chipotle salsa like we made before. We've got some diced avocado. We've got these lovely corn. Look at that. Beautiful. Right, so we're nearly there with the cauliflower. So you see that? I'm just going to lift these out now. I'm going to drain, put them onto my paper. Again, if you really weren't confident or you don't own a deep fat fryer, there's nothing to stop you from doing the process I did. And then you've probably seen in the shops these days, you get the little squirty bottles of oil, like the 1-calorie oil. What you could do is do them up, lay them onto a roasting tray, all separated, give them a little squirt of the oil and put them through the oven. Just the same with the chickpeas I did in the previous recipe. You could have mixed all that together, put it on a tray in the oven for 5 minutes, would have done exactly the same thing. I don't have an oven here today, so we're doing it this way. Right, so there you go, you can see that. That's all nicely done. We're just gonna let that rest a minute. But anyway, so I've got the pan there now, that's warming through. And again, just like before, we're gonna take our 2 tacos, we're just gonna lay them in the pan there just for a few seconds, just to soften them up. Nobody wants to eat a cold piece of tortilla. So let them warm through. And then we're gonna build it much the same like we did before. And we're gonna do 3 this time. Oh, lovely. So we're going to take our tacos. Again, they only take seconds to heat through. That's nice. Right. So we're going to take our chipotle salsa. Take a nice spoon of that in the middle. I love this. This is lovely and fiery. Pop that on there. Then we're going to take our cauliflower florets. Arrange them inside. A little bit of our corn. Some pieces of avocado there. Lastly, our pico de gallo. Look at that, lovely colours there. They're very fresh, tasty to eat. There we go, guys. Maybe just a little squeeze of lime. As I said, this one is not dairy free because we have the egg inside. So if you fancy a little bit of sour cream in there just to finish it off, why not? There we go, guys. Fried cauliflower taco with burnt tomato and chipotle salsa, a pico de gallo, and a little bit of avocado and sour cream to finish it off. I hope you've enjoyed this video. See you next time on The Flavour Factor.